What? Holy cow. A new friend of mine sent me several Spokeshave irons with the proviso that I make him one, so I figured it'd be a good opportunity to make a video. I'm starting with a piece of white oak firewood and riving it down to approximately 1 inch by inch. This one was a little bit thicker, but oh well, it works fine. Then I'm going to cut it to length, making it about 11 inches long. But if you take your iron and then make a space on the other side for a handle, that'll give you about how long you want it to be. Nothing precise. Flattening down one side, I'm using a scrub plane or a 4-plane to rough it out, and then I'll come in with a plane that has a fairly heavy cut, and then into a smoothing plane just to give myself a nice flat referencing surface that I can put a pattern on. I'm not actually going to use a pattern for this one, I'm just going to kind of freehand it. I'm using the iron itself to mark out where the holes need to be, and I'm going to drill those holes a little bit farther apart, about a 1/16 each, so about an 1/8 inch wider than where the marks were actually made. And then just fit them in and make sure that they work quite right. Now I need to have an escapement cut that allows the chips to come out. I'm cutting it at 45 degrees, and I put a mark where the front of the blade is, and that's where the top of the angle is, and then I cut back 45 degrees from that point. 45 degrees is not important, as long as there is space for the chips to come out from behind. Then I'm going to clean out from those holes toward that space that I cut out. This is allowing a little piece of that iron to fit down into the body. And now I'm going to use a chisel to remove most of that waste in between the two cuts I brought out to actually create that escapement. This is kind of fun, removing large amounts of waste with a chisel. And it's a slow process, but you want to take your time on this. It's easy to blow out one side, and I just want to actually remove what I need and no more. And so I'm slowly working my way down to the two cuts that I made. And I'll come in and basically pare out what I don't need in there. And this is the space that allows the chips, after they've been cut by the blade, to come out to the back of the Spokeshave. Now that I have the escapement and the holes for the Spokeshave, I just need to shape the mouth. This one is going to have a slightly rounded front that will give it easier for getting into smaller spaces. And now I can tap in the iron. The first time is pretty hard. It's fairly stiff. And there you have a Spokeshave. It's really that easy. Just this lump of firewood with 2 holes cut into it and an escapement for the chips to come out. And I can start using it. The blade is somewhat dull, and I'll sharpen that a little bit later. But now I want to actually shape the handles. So I'm kind of freehanding what I want them to look like. Then I'll come in with a chisel and remove the vast majority of the waste with a chisel. I like to remove as much as possible this way because it's faster, it's easier, and it's really kind of fun. But once I start getting it into place, I'm going to hold it and feel how it feels and know what I need to take away. Where does it need to fit a little bit better into the hand? And here I'm going to use another Spokeshave to clean it up a little bit more. But you really don't need another Spokeshave. You can do it with rasps and files and slowly work the surface down to something you want to grip. I like to come close to finishing with the file and hit all of the high points, really kind of make it feel decent in the hand. And then after the file, I use the bow sander that I made a while ago. And I like this for getting into curves and kind of wrapping around surfaces. Gives it a nice sanded surface. After sanding, I never take it back to a sharpened edge because I don't want any grit left in there to hurt them. Now, I'm not going to go into actually sharpening in this video. I'm going to do a whole other video on sharpening these because that's kind of an art. But it's a fairly simple process with these. As you can see, I'm really not needing a jig. Finish it off with boiled linseed oil and paste wax, just like I do with most of my hand tools. And I just kind of let it sit and dry. And afterwards, you can give it a test run. The nice thing about this is as you turn it and its pitch changes, you can take it from a heavy cut to a light cut just by a slight rotation of the wrists. It is a really fun tool to play with. And there you can see the final product. This is kind of the roughed one I made, and I also made another one out of beech that was a little bit more finished and special looking. But they don't have to be amazing to do good work. I hope that kind of demystifies what a spokeshave is, and I really kind of tried to make this one crude. I didn't want to make it look as precise and special as possible, mostly just to show that it's a simple tool that just about anyone can make. It doesn't take that much time. You can pick up these irons on eBay for pennies a piece, well, like 50 cents to $1 a piece. This was one that I made earlier. It was my test. I made this one out of beech. It was a bit more ornate, a little bit thinner. It was kind of fun to play with, but I might show how to make one that thin in the future. But this is the one I just want to play with. It's a little more beefy. It's designed for a little bit thicker cut, a little bit bigger cut. And I really like it. It's got a round face and works fairly well. So I hope you like this video. It was a fun experience for me. I am going to be doing another one later on the use, how do you tune it, how do you sharpen the blade, and that type of thing. So that video should be coming out soon. But until then, I hope you like this one. If you did, please hit like and think about subscribing. Also, I want to say a huge thank you to the patrons on Patreon. You guys are incredible. And if you want to find out more about Patreon, you can click the link over here. Also, if you did like this video, feel free to check out one of my others. You might find something you like there. And until next time, have a wonderful day.